Good evening. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome you to this amazing evening. We're all gathered here together to celebrate a dear friend of mine. So first and foremost, my name is LaSharice Aird, and I have the great pleasure of serving with Delegate Marcia Price. I represent the Tri-Cities area down in Petersburg. And thank you. And I'm here tonight to introduce the woman we're celebrating on this special occasion, because I think it's important to, number one, sometimes give kudos and insight to, I think, a representative outside of the district. So you all get to see how amazing she is, but I really want to put a fine point on that. So Marcia, Delegate Price and I came in during the same year, and you should know just how amazing of an advocate you have in the General Assembly. If you know Delegate Price, you know that she is unapologetic in her stances, in her positions, and in her advocacy. But what you don't get to see is the behind-the-scenes work that she puts in. So I'm gonna be very honest. As a representative, we're charged with reading our bills, doing our homework, and being fully prepared when we are taking these stances and going on the floor to vote and everything. This woman, she's usually the first person in the building, the last person in the building. She is educating other members on the issues, and she's raising red flags when we're headed in the wrong direction. She doesn't just fight for you all as a district, but she really tries to advocate for the entire Commonwealth. She has grown to be someone who is well respected in the General Assembly, and her expertise is valued. So I'm here tonight because I couldn't think of a better person to come and celebrate and really lift up in all of the amazing work that she is doing. So some days I know it's hard, I know it feels like a thankless job, but it's my pleasure, and I'll ask that you join me in fully welcoming Delegate Marcia Price as we celebrate her tonight.
You were just supposed to say my name. but LaSharice, thank you so much. That's my seatmate, y'all. She keeps me acting pretty much on point, which is a full-time job for her, so I appreciate that. But we often get mixed up. They give me mail for Petersburg, and they give her mail for Newport News. But it's okay, because she actually went to Warwick High School and grew up for some of that in Newport News. So she's ready for life. So, but thank you. It is really, really awesome when you have a colleague that turns into a sister and makes that life just even better. So ski-oo, and I love you, so thank you. And we have some other amazing elected officials here today. I would like to welcome Congressman Bobby Scott of the 3rd Congressional District. We had to run, but he was here. Delegate Mike Mullen from the 94th District, who will be on the ballot in November. Sheriff Dave Morgan, Godfather. Hampton Councilman Steve Brown. We have Chesapeake School Board member Dr. Pat King. Democratic candidate for the Clerk of Court, Angela Reason. And on record, the best mayor in the country, Mayor McKinley Price. Thank you all for being here, and I shout my dad out all the time because he's elected, but I'm also going to say thank you to the woman who helps keep me so grounded by telling me everything that's wrong and reminding me to be better. My mom, the first lady of the birthday, and my friends know this well about me. I like to celebrate other people that make the world a better place so that it's not as crappy for me, right? So that's why we're actually here. It just happens to be about my birthday. But this year, we have 5 amazing award winners. And so every year it's been a little different, but thank you all for going along with my crazy concoctions and ideas. But we had 4 categories. And the first category for the Community Love Award, and love stands for Living Our Values Every Day. That first category was healthcare, and I serve on the Health, Welfare, and Institutions Committee along with Lashmi's Aird, and we know that a lot of the issues don't even matter to people if it's a life or death decision. So we've been working on Medicaid expansion. I know it's a party, but I also want to let you know, out of those 400,000 people that were eligible for Medicaid expansion, about 300,000 have been enrolled. And about 230,000 of those enrolled have actually gone to see a provider. That's amazing. But anyway, so because we work together well, Lashmi's Aird and I, we knew that Black maternal health was a concern for us when 3.4 times more likely to die are Black people who are pregnant. And so we sought out some resources locally, and we found that we didn't have to go far to see people who were already on it and really doing some innovative things within a community structure. So I would like to present the 2019 Community Love Award for the Healthcare category to Sentara CarePlex Hospital.
Thank you so much. Dr. Tony Fisher, VP of CarePlex. This is Dr. Jeff Morrison. He's our medical director of OB at CarePlex Hospital. It truly is an honor to be able to be the recipient of this award for CarePlex Hospital. And you know, even more so, it truly is a privilege to be serving the community of Newport News and Hampton, and also being a member. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
So our next category, y'all know that while I never plan to have my own children, I do mother lots of kids in the community, and so youth are really at the heart of what I do, because if we don't have it centered and focused around them, then we've lost our future. And so someone that knows that day in and day out because of his impact on youth development, he has an amazing story that could have gone a different way. But he chose to get up after falling down, literally, and has actually saved real lives. Whole real lives, y'all, okay? So we are now going to offer the 2019 Community Love Award for Youth Development to Cameron Bertrand.
Something for me that's very therapeutic to be able to work with our youth. So as you mentioned, you know, I'm still recovering. I was involved in this incident in Norfolk on November 7, 2015, where I was attempted to be robbed and I was shot. So for me, the work that I do in the community is very important, because now, as a licensed mental health professional, I'm the CEO of Violence Intervention and Prevention, LLC. It's something I launched because of what happened to me that night. It wasn't necessarily because of the fact that I got shot. shot, but it was because of the fact that people saw me laying on the ground and didn't help me that night. I could have went just as hard for the bad stuff as I am for the good. And I talk about my story and I share it as a published author because people think it's easy. And it's extremely hard. I still have 4 chronic disorders. I've developed one each year since the year I got shot. And I go very hard because I know a lot of our youth are dealing with the same trauma that I'm working through each and every day. And unfortunately, 90% of the people in this room are dealing with trauma that they've been dealing with each and every day. And the transparency that each and every one of y'all show, the platform that each and every one of you use to go and pour into our communities, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to our youth. I just can't thank you guys enough. I want to thank my parents who came across the water today to support me, but they support me each and every day throughout my life. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough for not only this opportunity to receive this award, but to be able to service the communities that we all have to live in. So I want to thank you guys again, and I really appreciate you for all that you do.
As the map was drawn for the election that took place for this current term, I do represent some parts of Hampton. And so in the category of community involvement, we have a Newport News and a Hampton person. And the Hampton person feels like a little brother, but he's so much better at getting to everything. And I just look at him and I look at Bobby and I'm just like, it's okay. Like, not everybody's gonna be that good, so it's okay, we're okay. But this gentleman goes hard for his alma mater, NSU, Norfolk State. It's just funny. He also goes hard for the NAACP, which is so awesome to see because a lot of the more seasoned members think that they've lost our generation, but he shows us that they haven't. So when he's fighting for civil rights and when he's fighting for youth to just have a better shot at life and a better opportunity at success in his day job, everywhere he goes, he leaves behind passion, but he also brings people with him to the next room. And that is what's most important. And so the 2019 Community Love Award for the Hampton Civic Involvement category is Lance Jones Jr.
Thank you, Marcia, for that. I would like to just say thank you to everyone that's out tonight. My United House of Prayer for all people, they're here. I have some 100 black men that's here, and also the Hampton NAACP. Thank you, Marcia, for this. My goal is to just innovate everyone to do better in our community because it's some work for all of us to do. So when people think that they cannot do anything, it's so much that we can do because people are looking up to us and we cannot just leave our community down. We have a lot of people that feel that they don't have anything to do, but it's work for all of us. So what we need to do is just bring everyone up and just continue to fight because it's work for all of us. Thank you.
Lives in Hampton, I just want to say that name again, Lance Jones Jr., because you will be seeing that name again soon. So one of the other categories that we have is business. And a lot of you know my story. Y'all know that I am 4th generation Newport News. You know I am ride or die for 23607 till the day I die. And y'all also know that when I go up to Richmond and I talk about Newport News, what they think of us because they've never been here, and all that they see on the news, our shootings get covered in Richmond. So that is all that they think that we are. And I invite them down to see the 95th District, our beauty, our glory, our resilience, our innovation, we just amazing, y'all. We're just amazing. So, I try to make make sure that when people are speaking and doing things for Newport News, that they're uplifting it, just like the mayor says after every meeting, what you say and do uplift the city of Newport News. But there's another way that you can do that. You can say it with your chest. And so we have Sitting on My Chest with Tommy Riemann, who has a t-shirt line that is building the pride of neighborhoods and areas that other people don't have positive thoughts about. And that is so important to me, and so we want to congratulate him with the 2019 Community Love Award for Business, and that's City on My Chest. Again, that's Tommy Riemann. Come on up.
And the Price family. It's an honor to be here. I must say in 2013 when I started this vision, I never really imagined I'd be standing here in front of you good people. I was just a kid from Newport News, Virginia, and I'm proud. So one day I made a shirt that said, I'm so Newport News, and I would wear it like every single day. I was in Norfolk at the time in Old Dominion. You know, they was repping hard for this side of the water, so I was like, I'm gonna let you guys know about Newport News. So naturally I scream uptown, because I'm an uptown guy, but my ties to downtown, 1325 22nd Street, 22nd and Oak to be exact. My grandma's out, she raised me, so I was at Magruder Pool. I went to Magruder, Huntington Middle School. So my ties to Newport News runs deep. And that's what City on My Chest stands for. I'm just extremely proud to be from right here, and I let people know everywhere I go. The City on My Chest, you know, we do custom t-shirts, but it started in Newport News. And my dream is to take it around the world, but just remember where it started, right here in Newport News.
Okay, so I do want to give a shout out to DJ Dirty Di, and we're about to turn that back up in a minute, but we just have, just very, very briefly, I do feel that I need to educate everywhere that I go, and I apologize for that in advance, but I just want to tell a very, very brief story. So I'm sitting at my desk on one of the hottest days I think I've ever experienced in the summer, where like, I'm in the AC still sweating, not good. So my phone starts blowing up, and I get all of these Facebook notifications, and so Tempest calls me, and she's like, yo, I think you need to check this out, it's the news story. And so we look at it, and there's a neighborhood whose AC has gone out, and we think that day. So we jump into action. Tempest leads the charge, and I'm finishing up at work. We get there. City was already on it because what? Mayor Price is amazing. But just say, then we found out it wasn't just out that day. There were some significant issues happening on this private property. Clarification, private property. And it was just heart-wrenching to think that if my AC broke and I call somebody, they're gonna be there in an hour. So why is it different for anyone else that lives in my city? So we got to talking, and I got yelled at by this very passionate and energetic woman, and she hurt my feelings. But, but it was all for good, because she knew she was fighting for her family. She knew she was fighting for hundreds of families in that neighborhood, and she knew she could not sit down and take it any longer. And so she got us involved. And let me tell you what speaking up can do. Today, there is an emergency regulation in place for all of the Commonwealth of Virginia that says if you say you have air conditioning, you must cool a room to 77 degrees, because what? Prior to meeting this individual, it was 80 degrees. You only had to cool a room to 80 degrees to be legally compliant. Come on, y'all. She got that change done by speaking out and making sure that those of us that could make decisions heard her. And then I was like, well, what are you doing next? And she was like, I'm waiting for school. And I was like, oh, you're gonna be an intern. And she worked with Virginia Block, and she was telling her story and got others energized to vote, others energized to speak up about their story, because it's contagious. Her energy is absolutely amazing and contagious. And at this point, I would like to offer the 2019 Community Love Award for Civic Involvement in Newport News to none other than the Eternity Bard.
All day I just been, my emotions just been everywhere because when I did this, I did it from the bottom of my heart. It wasn't just about me and my son. It was about the elderly people. And it was just about a man just looking down on black people because it's a 95% mostly black people in that neighborhood. And every day I just got tired of feeling like I'm beneath him, I'm below him. So one thing that I use that nobody can ever take away from me is my voice. And when I look at myself, I know that I'm doing something right. And when I did this, like I said, I really, truly did it from the bottom of my heart. And I just can say, like, codes and compliance, everybody, they turned their back on me and my son, and I'm still in that same apartment that I was supposed to be out of in November. Because after the fact, my apartment kept flooding and flooding and flooding. And I got my apartment condemned, and I told my baby, we're gonna be okay. And if it wasn't for God and my mom and my son, I don't know what I would have did. Because Jim tried to break me, he really did. And when I go home every day, I gotta see that condemned notice on my door. But I'm gonna keep walking, I'm gonna keep on because this is not it for me. And Marcia, I really do thank you so, so much. I really do. Thank you.
All right, so our last speaker is our own Olivia Pope here in Virginia, and some of you all may not know her because she's that behind the scenes, but she's my boss, so I need for y'all to clap like real loud when she comes in here. But as some of you know, with everything that has happened in February to today, where men in leadership have been questioned with their impropriety, allegedly, and where Caucasian people have just shown that we have a lot of work to do. It is women of color that are going to pick up this mantle and take us forward. And we also know that it's women of color that get fewer dollars in fundraising. So we started a PAC called Rising Power, and that's all we're doing, is supporting women of color who know that they can make a difference because they come from the neighborhoods that need to be changed. And they don't have to study the issue because they live the issue. And we will be supporting them. And so I want to bring up Tram, the silent auction. All of the proceeds will be going to that, in addition to a portion of the proceeds from tonight. So that is going to, I don't have an opponent. To be clear, I still have dues, and I still do need to meet 30,000 new people in this new district, but I don't have an opponent, and I don't take that lightly, so we're going to help others that do. So I just want Tram to come up and just speak very briefly about Rising Power so you know who you're supporting, so you will bid even higher in the back.
She calls me her boss. I think we're co-conspirators in trying to make this world a better place. As Sia said, we, in moments of crisis, when we look around and we see who we can count on and who we can rely on, and the folks that bring experiences and real life stories into the room to try to fix things, like really fix things for all of us. When I look around the room, it's women of color. In that moment of crisis in the General Assembly, we looked at Delegate Price, we looked at Delegate Ayer and their colleagues, and they rose to the occasion, and they took us and